Hello and welcome to another Taking the Biz revision tutorial. This is the channel dedicated to A-level business students just like you. And in this video, we will be investigating the topic of franchising and why some entrepreneurs are drawn to the idea of starting a franchise of somebody else's business rather than their own independent organization. So our starting place is to identify what exactly a franchise is. And essentially, a franchise is permission. It's the legal right to start a business using another organization's name, to use their branding, and to sell their products. So rather than starting your own independent business, you approach an existing organization and ask for permission or the right to use their business concept using their name, their branding, their logo, and selling their product range. Now, that has some very distinctive benefits to it that makes it a very attractive way of entering the world of entrepreneurialism, but it also has some drawbacks that act as a significant deterrent for lots of entrepreneurs. Now, one of the biggest benefits of starting a franchise of somebody else's business idea is that it eradicates some of the risk attached to entrepreneurialism, particularly of being a first-time entrepreneur. When you buy a franchise of somebody else's business, when you're using their concept, it's one that's already been proven. This concept has already been piloted. The business that's selling the franchise presumably has already made a success of this business concept. So you get to start your own business from scratch, but using an idea or a concept that the market may already be familiar with. You get to start a business that has a pre-existing brand name. You even get to start a business that consumers might even have tried before, but just in another location. And that can be a very attractive proposition financially as well, because you get to start a business that may be able to start generating revenue faster than an independent business may be able to. But franchises also come with some other benefits, again, particularly for first-time entrepreneurs. And that's that the business that you're purchasing the franchise from want you to succeed. And they are going to give you the support and the advice and any requisite training that you might need to be able to run your franchise successfully. Now, with an independent business, that support and that advice may well be absent. You don't have a franchise at the end of the phone or an email that you can ask questions of, that you can raise queries with, that you can seek support from, or that would be willing to invest in training you in how to run your business. So again, it helps maximize the chances of your new fledgling business being successful. The other benefit that might make it attractive to entrepreneurs is that by running a franchise, you will of course benefit from any national marketing campaigns that the franchisor does for your business. So if you were to run a franchise of, say, a national chain of fast food restaurants, when that chain does national television advertising campaigns, your individual franchise will benefit from that and will reap the rewards, even though you've not had to pay or fund that marketing campaign. So again, it can help build greater sales, greater revenue when you're running a franchise rather than your own independent business. But there are some very significant reasons why many people do not favor this way of being an entrepreneur. And the first of those is that you do not get to keep the 100% of the profit from all of the work and the effort you've put into running your franchise. With most franchises, there is a franchise agreement, a legally binding contract that states what percentage of your turnover or your profit you have to devote back to the business you've bought the franchise from. Now, in some, this might be a slender number. You might only have to return 20% of any profits that you make. But in some franchise organizations, as much as half of the profits you make running your business have to be sent back to the franchisor. And for some people, that acts as a deterrent, and they would rather start their own independent business, even if it was on a smaller scale, in order to keep 100% of the profits. Connected to that, we've also got the idea that when you start a franchise, there will usually be an upfront franchise fee to pay as well. Now, for smaller franchises, this may just be up to £100 to purchase the franchise in their business. But for larger, more established, well-known franchising businesses, it could be as much as £100,000, £250,000, even £500,000 to buy a franchise in their organisation. Now, that may deter a lot of people because you may already need to have a significant amount of wealth and funding before you can even purchase a franchise in some organizations. But the last limitation is perhaps the main one for many people. And that's when you run a franchise, you have far less control and independence. You don't get to govern all of the decisions that affect the business that you are running. You are beholden to the franchisor and some of the decisions that they have made. For example, you will probably be bound by their pricing structures. Unable to charge your own prices, you must charge what the franchisor instructs you to. In addition to that, you have no control over the product range. You have to sell the products and services that the franchisor provides you with. And on top of that, any stock or raw materials that your business uses must be purchased from the franchisor. So there's very little freedom or movement to be creative and develop your own business ideas. You're following a very narrow structure or framework that's laid down to you by the franchisor. And because of that lack of control, because of that absence of independence and creativity, and that freedom to make decisions that you think might develop or improve your business, lots of people would rather start their own independent organization than a franchise of somebody else's. But hopefully that video will support you with your revision of this topic. We'll see you soon for another tutorial. You keep on taking the biz.